Barev from Armenia. So right now we're talking very softly because we're on the public bus. It's still not started. This bus is actually going to take us from Yerevan, the capital city, out to a nearby village or town rather, where there's some very interesting monuments and a great deal of history. So it's our first time sitting on a intercity bus, you could say, and it's pretty funky. It's a small one. So we've actually been staying with our new friend Hike. We met him on Couchsurfing, and he's hosting us in his house. And we got there late last evening, and we spent the whole early night, you could say, just talking about Armenia, learning about its history and culture, and also at the same time, he was very curious to know about India and our perspective of the world. So we spoke about all of that, had some cherry juice, and then went to sleep. It was very cold. We woke up this morning, and he made us some very delicious breakfast, as you can see here in this next clip.
Hello. We are making breakfast.
And here is tea.
Can I use this?
Sure. So, Hike, what is this called?
This is lavash.
Goulash.
It's a traditional Armenian bread.
Oh.
Enjoy, guys.
This one
It's
is
gata.
kata.
Sometimes it's sweet, so sweet. So I use this crème. So
Okay.
And then Hike suggested that we go out to this place. So he ordered a Yandex taxi for us, which we got in and came to here, the bus station. And now we're on the bus, all set to go.
We have to go for about half an hour, about 20 kilometers from here, and it is 300 dram per person, which is about 16 rupees.
Yes.
Okay, so for church, we can go this way.
So this is our friend Karina. We just met on the bus, and she's just showing us off to the next place.
Give us a lot of tips on what all we can see in Yerevan and in Armenia.
And all of this is the city. We are right now at the Etchmiadzin Cathedral, and we just learned that this is the oldest cathedral in the entire world. It was the first cathedral that was built, and it dates back to 301 AD, which is like, I think, the earliest we've ever heard any monument to be here, which is why this entire town is so important to Armenian Christians all over the world. So this is a place of pilgrimage.
The most religious center near Yerevan.
The entire community of the Armenian Apostolic Church actually come here on a pilgrimage regularly, and right now we are unable to enter the main sanctum which is there because they're renovating it, and these renovations aren't really new. It's over time, over these many centuries from 301 AD.
First, it was built as a wooden church, and then many years later, they converted it. They added the domes, and then so continuously they are renovating and making the church better and preserving it.
While the first church was made entirely of wood, the second edition of it and the renovations subsequently were all made in such a way that they could make it permanent with stone, which is what we see here now. The walls are all, they're an interesting sandstone / granite color.
Yeah.
So we don't really know
So
what.
even when we saw this first time, it didn't look like it was old, like very old. But then we learned that it is because of the renovations that they have tried to maintain it this way.
And the cathedral itself is spread across a very large area, and there's a beautiful wall alongside which has many buildings inside it. And the typical Gothic style of building Armenian cathedrals is something that you can observe here even today. This cathedral also holds special importance because while it was the first cathedral to be built in the world, it also holds a lot of importance as the first representation of a Christian country that was established in the world. By the year 483, the king of Armenia actually adopted Christianity as a state religion. Armenia became the first Christian country in the world, and even today it remains so, which means that Christianity is considered as a state religion, which is so unique because it's the first time we have ever come to a country like this. We have been to other countries where Islam is considered as a national or state religion, but this is the first time we're seeing Christianity, and it's pretty interesting. And of course, this means that there are so many tourists visiting here. We saw a big group coming in from China. It is seemingly popular here for many people to also celebrate their wedding ceremonies. So we're just seeing a happy couple coming through.
We just observed that all the buildings here are made from pink sandstone, so everything looks pink, 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 pink.
And the shades are actually like, it's not just one shade of pink, it's like multiple shades, so it really looks very attractive. But the one thing we have on our mind is as to why it is like this. So if you know, if you're an Armenian watching it, watching this video, please tell us what the pink stones are all about.
Also, I'm wearing pink today. So two locals recommended us to come to this pizza place. It's called Tashir Pizza. They said they serve really good pizzas and at affordable prices. So we're gonna give it a try. We ordered a pizza. It was called pizzetta. It was about 780 gram. So we expected a big pizza, but it's a really tiny pizza.
But it's still not too bad. It looks quite delicious. So let's go at it. All set?
Yeah. I thought it would be a big pizza and I was like, oh my god, I got a full-fledged pizza for this price. I was so very excited, but now it's okay, lesser cheese for us.
Good. Just this morning, she's checked her weight and she was incredibly happy. So we should keep that streak going, right?
Yeah. I just spoiled it with a cola.
So there seems to be a street lamp, and on the top they have another pomegranate. It seems to be everywhere.
Yeah.
See, there too. Right now we are inside the Zvartnots Cathedral. Zvartnots actually means Cathedral of the Angels. So the cathedral right now looks like it's in a very dilapidated condition, but The story around this is actually quite interesting. In 301 AD, on a particular day, the king here and the main saint, Saint Gregory, actually met together and decided on this very same spot that Armenia would become a Christian kingdom. Or as it is known today, a Christian country, which was the first of its kind in the world. And the site where they made this proclamation was also the same place where the saint actually had a vision that the angels came and said that there will be a day when Jesus would return. So, with that, they actually ended up building a very beautiful cathedral here that was designed to actually stand for 1,000 years. And over time, due to Arab invasions and earthquakes, the entire structure actually fell apart. And what remains today is only the lowest level. The design of this is actually very interesting because you can see it right here. So as you can see, the pillars behind me are actually the first level. So the columns actually held two more levels above them. And right here on one of the sides, I think this is the east side, where you can actually see something that looks like a underground level, maybe like a pool, probably because there was an altar on top of this. And then I see something that looks like a staircase to a bottom pit. And of course, the same wedding party that we saw earlier in the day at the other cathedral, they're here getting a photo shoot done. So, above this floor, there was another level, and then that was, of course, smaller. And then the third level, which was the smallest of the lot. All of this was entirely built in stone. And you can see that these blocks are not small, they're actually pretty large. So the cathedral was actually designed to remain strong for at least 1,000 years, because as per the vision Saint Gregory had, there would come a day when Jesus would come down, and until then this building had to remain as is. However, over time there were many earthquakes, a few invasions by Arab kingdoms, and then this eventually came down. The last instance when an earthquake brought this down was supposed to be in the 20th century itself, when the third level also came down. And till date, nothing has been restored in terms of the other levels, but apparently there is a plan to make that happen. But it's pretty fascinating to see something like this. It's almost like seeing the Roman ruins, which we have obviously never seen, but that is the kind of importance people seem to have here of this place. Not Rumali roti alone, crispy Rumali roti.
Subscribe!